Hey babes, welcome to the weekly chat. This is actually kind of turning more into like the monthly chat, but we're gonna try and get it together. So I have my notes. I just completed 75 hard, which is something that I never in my life thought that I could do. It changed my life. And I had a plan to complete this when I moved because I was just like in a pivotal point of my life. And I'm like, if I'm starting new habits and routines, like I want to make sure that they're good and they're right. And that's kind of how I got here. If you don't know what 75 hard is, it is essentially about building discipline and your mental toughness. It is 2 45-minute workouts a day. One has to be outside. You have to drink a gallon of water a day. You have to follow a meal plan. You have to read 10 pages of a book a day, not like poetry or like fictional. It has to be like something that helps improve yourself or your mental. What am I missing? I think that's everything. I'm currently in phase 1 right now. So there's things that have been added on, but I think that's the baseline. And the big like takeaway is that you have to do it for 75 days straight. And if you mess up or miss a day, you have to start all the way over from day 1, which is crazy. I was not going to let that happen to myself. I actually made it through the full 75 days, but there's a lot of factors that went into that. I don't have a 9 to 5. I work for myself. I live with my parents. They eat so healthy. So that was a big factor because cooking is such a struggle for me. So like having that extra support was like super, super helpful. That doesn't go to say like it's impossible and it cannot be done. I think that I was so successful is because I had so many good factors and like I was just mentally ready to get there and do it. So I did it. And it feels so, so good. The other thing that I miss is that you have to take a progress picture of yourself every single day. Andy Frisella, he's the guy that started this. He has an app and I definitely would recommend if you are thinking of doing it because it helps keep me accountable. Like I was excited every single day to check off every single thing that I had to do. I'm like, yeah, I'm getting this done. And then the last thing is no cheat meals and no alcohol. That part was easy for me because I don't drink. I definitely would say that it took a lot of building up for me to get here and to complete it successfully. Like I already didn't drink, already kind of ate healthy. I already was in a good workout routine. Doing 2 workouts a day was kind of stressful for me in the beginning because I'm like, when am I going to have time for this? But like, you have time to do whatever you want. You have 24 hours in a day. Like it's just a matter of what is your priority. Once you make these things your priority, it's just like, oh, okay. Simple. It really is such a mindset mental shift. This is so good for anyone who just like needs a reset. And I genuinely think that moving helped me a lot because I'm like, okay, I'm in a new place. Like, what is my daily life going to look like? What are my new habits going to be like? And that is exactly where I was like, okay, I need to build it from here. You guys know that I'm like in the middle of my healing journey. And while I feel like I've made so much progress, I definitely think that 75 hard, like completing it and doing it and the whole journey of it just like led me to even more self-love and self-growth and just like self-respect and prioritizing myself and putting me first. Because at the end of the day, you have to show up differently for yourself than you would have in the past. That is just like a huge learning curve. And getting into it is pretty scary, but I was just like, I have to go full force or I'm not going to do it. So that's just like how I did it. The biggest thing for me is that I did not tell a single soul that I was doing this. And that really helped me. I told myself that from the beginning. I'm like, I'm not going to tell anyone I'm doing this. I'm just going to do it because I need to do it for myself. I cannot be doing this for outside validation or just to like prove myself to people. Like I had to do it for myself. And I think that that mindset really helped me like, this is for me. Like I woke up every day and I'm like, I'm doing this for me. Like this is going to change my life. I'm changing my life. Like I'm not doing this for anybody else. Obviously I live with my parents, so they knew. And then I did end up telling my sisters because I was with them a bunch of the time and that helped me a lot. But there were points for sure that I was like a little bit nervous because I was traveling and I like got to a point where I'm like, how am I going to do this in travel? But you just figure it out as you go and you make it work. And like I said, like it's your priority. You have to make time for yourself and put yourself first every day. I broke it up into 3 quarters. It is 75 days. So I did 25, 25, 25. So for the first quarter, I was not hard on myself at all. I'm like, I'm doing this challenge. This is going to be like a mental toughness within itself. Like I'm not trying to make shit hard for myself. So my 2 workouts a day were a 45-minute walk and yoga. And it was that simple. And I was just like a little bit questionable in the beginning. I'm like, am I really going to get results just from doing those 2 simple things? Yes. I did. For me, it was about just like making it as seamless as possible for myself. I was already stressed out enough that if I like got to day 15 and I had to start over, like I was gonna be pissed. And I did not want to do that. I measured out like how many of my Stanley cups I needed to drink a day, and I just like set up systems for myself that made it seamless. I would think of what I was going to eat for breakfast and lunch the next day, and then like my parents kind of had dinner covered, so that was really easy. Right when I woke up, I was like, all right, I'm going to knock as many things as I can off the list. So I would like read my 10 pages, take my picture, and then do like my first workout. It says the workout should be 3 hours apart, but that's not like a strict set in stone rule. But I did try to follow that as much as I could have. But it didn't start out like that in the beginning. Another thing, it has to be completed by 11 p.m. because that's the end of the day. So I was like saving my reading till the end of the night. And then I was like, oh my God, like, am I going to give myself enough time to read these pages of the book? It shifted for me. And I was like, all right, I'm just going to get this done in the morning so I can like have half my list done. And then I could focus on other things. It really is just such a learning curve and like such a good mental experiment and experience. And then for the second quarter, I'm getting bored of my walks and I'm getting stronger just from like doing yoga with my own body weight. And I'm just like, I needed something more. So my walks turned into walk runs. I would like run a mile and then I would walk the rest, and then I would like see how much I could run. And then my yoga turned into strength training. I was just like, I need more. Again, didn't want to go into it full force. So I still would like, when I started running, I was like, oh my God, like my body is so sore and like tired. So the next day I would do a walk. And it was just like kind of easing myself into it. And then the third quarter, I was mostly like, okay, running and weightlifting. And then I would still incorporate yoga. And now it's just like a happy medium for me. Like I'm still doing it. I don't know how many days I'm in now. I'm like 90 days into it. There's different phases, which I didn't realize. So when I was like, oh my God, I did it. Like I'm so excited. They're like, okay, next phase. And I was like, oh, there's more, but low-key glad because all right, this is my life now. I had to make a specific routine for myself, and I knew that traveling would kind of throw a curveball into it, but I just eased myself into it again, like slowly, and I was able to do it. And now I'm like, okay, if I can do this anywhere, like I can literally do this anywhere. It's just like a continuous proving to myself that I can do hard things. Even the yoga every day, like it helped me connect with my body so much and just like healing so many other aspects of it. Phase 1, you have to do a couple more things that are a bit crazier for me, like a 5-minute cold shower, which if you know me, I absolutely hate being cold. When I first had to do that, I kind of freaked out, like to the point where I was screaming alone by myself in the shower, like I fucking hate this and I don't want to do this, but did it anyway. And now that I do it every day, I actually look forward to it because once you get out, you're like, you have a full nervous system reset. It's just amazing. For food, my diet was whole foods only, no processed food, nothing from a package. Everything had to be like fresh, very simple foods, no sugar. I could have dark chocolate chips. Like I had exceptions for myself because I could not deprive myself from everything. And then no eating after 10 p.m. I try to keep it as simple as possible, and that made it easier for me. I didn't so much need to meal prep because I live at home and I work for myself, so that part was not terrible. But if you do work a 9 to 5, definitely would recommend meal prepping so you don't have to think about that part. The progress pictures, really exciting. I saw within the first month, even just from doing my walks and yoga, I was like, holy shit, my body is legit changing, and it is so cool to see. I feel like when I used to work out, I had a trainer, I'd be like so focused on the picture. During this challenge, I was like, I don't really give an F about the picture. I was like taking the craziest, like most ridiculous pictures, but I get why they want you to do it, because to actually see it and not be so focused on the picture, I was just like, wow, this is really cool to see. That's pretty much it. I can't recommend this program enough. This is not the first time I've tried to do this. I've tried to do it before, not as seriously though. Like I never downloaded the app. I was just like, oh, I'm just gonna like try and see if I could do this like for myself for fun. I think I did that probably like 2 or 3 times. Then I was just like, whatever. And this time I was like, I'm doing this. I'm proving this to myself. I have to do this for me. I like actually want to do this. I know that I need to do this to change my mind and get more self-disciplined, especially that I work for myself and like run a business. I'm like, I need this in my life. So I was definitely more mentally prepared. You have to want want it bad enough to do it. If you're thinking of doing it, I 10 out of 10 recommend Andy Frisella. Great guy. You should follow his page. He has like a bunch of tips. He sends out emails. Like, it's super motivating. Just doing something for yourself that is yours and nobody else's is like the most rewarding feeling in the entire world. 75 Hard changed my life, and it will stick with me for the rest of my life. And I'm so glad I did it. And if you're thinking about doing it, or you need a change in your life, or you just like need to build better habits or self-discipline, like, you can do it. You can do it. And if you have to start over, it's really not that big of a deal. That is the whole point, is just to build discipline for yourself. Thank you for being here and listen to me ramble. If you ever have any questions, my comment section is always open, and I'm definitely trying to build like more of a community on this page. So if you're watching, thank you for being here, and I will see you guys in the next one.